And what a perfect Saturday afternoon it is to plant tomatoes. Not your normal tomatoes. Your normal tomatoes are these ones like this, above ground, where you have to stake them out, tie them out, make sure they're not flopping over from the weight of the fruit. What we're going to do is do something new. Upside down tomatoes. Some people know them as hanging tomatoes. Brilliant. So we're going to be trying this out. The whole idea of this is, now obviously I'm going to do this on a plank on the fence. I've put a couple of brackets up there. If you've got a nice tall fence, why not use it? Because otherwise you're just taking up space. So I'm going to put this sleeper up on top of that. And I've got these pots. Now ideally what you do is you get the pots. You probably fit 2 plants in this easily, but you need to make sure you get the pots with the curved ends. Okay, the curved ends, as opposed to a standard sort of pot that's got the sharp ends on it. That way, as it grows up, and we're not staking them or tying them, as they grow up, they will naturally fall over as the stems get too long. Now as they fall over, they'll just start hanging over the edge of the pot. That's why the rounded part is important. Now there is a workaround, of course. You can use a pool noodle or something if you can't find the rounded ended pots. Just put a pool noodle over the end of it or something such like, just to protect the stem of the plant. In my case, I found these pots perfect, nice rounded ends. They're big enough for what I want because I'm going to put 2 plants in each one. Now I've seen these up on posts before. That would mean you would need a rigid post somewhere in your yard, and you put one of these things up on there and they'll all hang down. That's great. I don't want to dig a hole in my backyard just to put a post in to try this experiment. I've got a fence, so I'll use that. Works exactly the same way. Now when you got pots up on there and you're going to start hanging, fruit are going to start hanging off there, it's going to want to pull the pot over. Yeah, you don't want that. So I've come up with a solution. It's probably not unique, but it works. Here's one that I completed earlier. Okay, just any bits of leftover wood that you might have. Now I've already marked where I'm going to put these on the fence, just like that. Stick a bit of wood down the bottom, and your trusty drill. And like that. Means your pot won't fall over once it's got all that weight of the fruit in it. Thank you, my dear. And the same again. About right. It is important that you secure it to whatever it is you're putting it onto, because they will fall over. Lovely. Now I did this down here so we can film it, and makes it easy. So I'm just going to lift that up onto the shelf there. A shelf unit basically is what it is. I'm not going to attempt it once I've filled it. I'm good, I'm not that good. So I'm going to put this up there, be back with you in a second and show you what we do next. Magic of editing and cinematography. There it is. Just stuck it up there. Now obviously I'm going to screw this whole thing through underneath to make sure that the board doesn't fall off either. But now that we've got it up there, we can fill the pots with soil. Put our plants in. In this case I'm putting 2 plants in each. 6 different varieties I got. I wanted to see how they grow, what's best for these ones in the pots. We've got some really big ones. We've got cherry tomatoes. We've got a whole different variety. I want to see what grows best and how it'll look like once it's all come down. It's going to be like a curtain of tomatoes. That's what I'm planning on. So we'll see what happens. We'll get back to you shortly. This gardening stuff's hard, you know. I've earned a cold one. I'm only kidding, it's not really any excuse for a cold one. Just for your info, they're the ones we're putting in today. They're all different. We got some cherry type ones, we got a couple of big mother ones, we got even an heirloom one, just to see how they're going to perform in the pot and how they're going to come down hanging like I'm hoping they will. Now, if you have a look at all of these, they've all got the thing on there to say it'll grow to 1.5 metres, 1.8 metres, 1.8 metres, and so on. I didn't get bush crop tomatoes. In other words, not ones that are just a bush and don't climb. I want the climbing ones. Because if it goes up 1.8 metres or 1.5 metres, you would have to truss it out, tie it out all over the place to keep it from touching the ground. In this case, we want it to get as close to the ground as we can. So as it tips over, it's going to come all the way down without ever having to tie it or do anything with it. So, hope everything goes according to plan. I've already put a little bit down the bottom of each one of those. So, here you go. How about these two in the first one? So we've got a black Russian, which looks like it's sort of a medium type of tomato. And a lollipop. They're really tiny little cherry ones. So we'll do these two first in the first one. We'll call this one the first one. I'm going to plant them down quite deep. It'll give them plenty of chance to get even more roots further down, or sorry, up the stem. So I'm going to bury it to about here. So really deep into the soil, and that way it'll shoot out roots from the side here as well, making it even stronger. I like it. This one here, same again. We'll get rid of these little shoots down the bottom. Let's take them off completely, like that. And again, this one I'm going to plant down to about here. So really deep. Now some of you may actually even be inquiring, isn't there going to be a lot of weight on the fence? Well, not really. It's not going to pull the fence over because all the pressure is downward pressure. It's not coming outwards. So it's going to have no effect on the fence. Same as we'd plant any tomatoes, only I've just made sure I planted it really deep like I showed you, halfway up the stem pretty much. As they start going, and they're going to start drooping as they get taller and taller, I'm going to encourage them to come out towards the front rather than the back if that's what they're inclined to do, even if that means taking some of these back shoots off as the time goes, just to encourage it even more to come forwards. All three are done, 6 plants in all. So because this is a test and I want to be able to actually have the variety of tomatoes and where they are immediately visible, so I don't have to climb up and have a look. We just screwed them to the outside of the pot just to make it easily visible. So next time, or next season, when we go to plant them, we say, okay, well, this one didn't work too well, but the other one did. We'll make sure we'll know which ones work better and which ones don't. But I think that's pretty damn good. I reckon we're going to get a hell of a lot of tomatoes out of this. Well, let's put it this way. That's the plan. There will be a part 2 to this one. We'll get back to you in a couple of months and show you how it's going, show you how they're working, and hopefully you'll try one and do it the same way. And in the meantime, raise a cold one, give us a like and subscribe. If you like what you see, it's that easy. Catch you on the next one.